The morning. The soldiers came. The air smelled of smoke and wet earth. Villagers ran across the narrow dirt paths, clutching their children, their lives packed in trembling hands. Somewhere in that chaos, a man named Tomas held his small son, Eli, close to his chest. Eli was only 7, too young to understand what war truly meant, yet old enough to feel fear press like a stone in his chest when his father whispered, "Be brave, my boy. You must take care of your mother." Thomas's eyes, once warm as the sunrise over the fields, were now clouded with something heavier than fear. Duty. He was being called to fight for a cause he didn't believe in but couldn't run from. Eli clung to his father's leg, his small voice cracking. "You said you'd teach me to fish this summer." Tomas bent down, pressing his rough palms against the boy's cheeks. "I will, Eli. I promise. When this is over, I'll come back and we'll fish all day. Just you and me." It was a promise made with love and broken by fate. For years, the war raged like a storm that refused to die. Letters were sent. Some arrived half-burned or soaked in blood. Others never arrived at all. Eli grew into a quiet young man, his hands calloused from working the same fields his father once tended. Each day, he would wait by the old road, the one that led from the city, hoping to see a tall figure in a faded soldier's coat walking toward home. His mother never stopped setting an extra plate at dinner. Even when the food was scarce, she'd whisper, "Your father might come home hungry." But deep down, they both knew the truth. War doesn't give back what it takes. Years passed. The war ended, leaving behind graves instead of heroes. One afternoon, Eli was working near the village market when he overheard 2 old soldiers talking. "Did you hear about Captain Tomas?" one said. "He was captured near the western border. Died in the camps before peace was signed." Eli froze. The sound of his father's name cut through the air like a blade. For a moment, everything around him blurred. The chatter, the footsteps, the sound of hammers and trade. His heart beat wildly, not in disbelief, but in the kind of pain that knows truth when it hears it. That night, Eli packed a small bag and left before dawn. He followed the long, broken roads that led to the camps. Ruins now, silent and swallowed by grass. The earth there still smelled of ashes. When Eli arrived, the place was nothing but mounds of dirt and nameless wooden crosses. A man from a nearby town guided him to a small grave marked with a single word. Tomas. No rank, no age, no date. Just a name carved by a shaking hand. Eli knelt in the dirt, his fingers tracing the rough letters. His throat burned, but no sound came out. Only the wind moved, soft, like his father's voice calling from far away. He stayed there for hours, speaking into the silence. "Papa, they said you were brave, but I didn't need a hero. I just needed my father." Tears fell onto the soil, mixing with the dust and rain. From his bag, Eli took out a small, yellowed piece of paper, a letter he had written as a boy but never sent. The edges were torn, the ink smudged with time. It read, "Dear Papa, Mama says you'll come home soon. I've been learning to fish on my own, but it's not as fun without you. I built us a small boat from wood scraps. It's waiting for you. Please come home before the next summer." He folded it and placed it on the grave, pressing it into the earth. "Here," he whispered, "it finally reached you." That night, Eli built a small fire near the grave. He watched the flames dance, their flickering light reflecting off the tears on his face. He could almost see his father across the flames, sitting beside him, laughing softly, telling him how to tie a fishing line, how to mend broken nets. When the fire burned low, Eli said softly, "You kept your promise, Papa. You came back. I just wasn't here to see it." He stayed until the morning light touched the grave. Then he stood, brushed the dirt from his knees, and walked away, leaving behind the letter, the fire's ashes, and a part of himself. Years later, villagers spoke of a man who would come every summer to the edge of the old camp with fishing rods on his back. He never said a word to anyone. He would sit by the quiet river, casting his line into the still water, as if waiting for someone on the other side to take the bait, to pull him home. And each time he left, he'd whisper to the wind, "Maybe next summer, Papa. Maybe next summer."